This is my February reading wrap up. Let's get into it. First book was I, Medusa by Ayana Gray. I received this from Tandem Collective. Thank you so much for that. We did a tandem read. It was so much fun discussing this with other readers. This is a retelling of Medusa's story, but we start before she becomes who a lot of people know her to be. It was interesting getting a younger human version of her. I also didn't know she had these sisters and other family members and other people that she met along the way was very interesting, and how other gods played a role. P.S. Poseidon, you suck. If we were doing yes, no, maybe, I would say yes to this one. The second book I read was Half of a Heartbreak by Agnes. This is a poetry book that deals with relationships and, well, heartbreak. Out of the 4 books I read this month, this was my favorite one, and you know I love to read poetry, so I'm going to read one. This one's called Just a Girl. I read your story today. It's beautiful and poetic, and I love that you're writing, so I didn't want to say it's imaginary, idealized, ephemeral. That version you penned isn't real. I'm not a bird, even if I look at the sky with longing, even if I fly far and often, even if I slowly peck at our memories, hoping they'll last longer. I wasn't a bird when I woke up early and chirped at your sleepy dreams. I am not a bird as I read your words, nor will I ever be. I'm not a bird, just a girl, feeling lonely in her empty nest. Indie author, self-published. She did all the artwork herself. I highly recommend you go get this book, yes. Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston. I first want to say thank you so much to Libro.fm for providing me a free copy of the audiobook. However, I did not like this book. I loved First Lie Wins. That was a 5-star read for me. This one, there were a few problems with it. Even though this was a thrower book, it felt like it really dragged, and I felt like there was a heavy reliance on twists that just weren't working. It got to the point where the story was just so unbelievable that I stopped caring. I've never really had an author yet where I really loved one book and I really didn't love the other. So I do want to keep reading her stuff as it comes out. I'm just a little bit on the fence now. Last book I read of the month was Her Last Breath by Taylor Adams. Love him so much. Also, thank you again to Libro.fm for providing a copy of that book. This book ended up being a very close second to being my favorite book of the month. I like this book so much, I did an entire podcast episode on it on my podcast Throwers and Tea. So if you really want to hear the complete in-depth version of how I felt about this book and the details in the book, go listen to that. Overall, the book was very fast-paced. There was a lot of knowledge I could tell that the author had about the material he was writing, and I really liked the characters, and there were really good twists. I didn't feel like it was too many. I felt like the twists made sense. It just altogether was a very cohesive story, so I would say go check that one out as well. How was reading for you during the month of February? Have a super special awesome day, and happy reading.